Sunday, November 15th, Junior Commodore's Regatta, Mission Bay Yacht Club. Day 2. Whenever you go racing, you go around the back of the committee boat, say good morning to the race committee. You always do that every day you ever go sailing, because you want to thank volunteers, and also you don't ever, if there's a requirement to check in and you forget someday, it's going to break your heart. The next thing you do is you come outside the starting line. Now, they've moved the starting line a couple of times now. And now that they're settled 5 minutes before the race, you come over here and you line up the pin and the flag with something on shore. Okay, so it's lined up with some palm trees. And then what you do is then you sail to the line and you vary your course up and down. And you start to get familiar with where it is. Now, the reason why we have line sights is because if he moves his anchor, he can move his anchor position up to 2 minutes, so he can let himself back up until 2 minutes before the start. Now you see how I'm lined up with the roller coaster? Okay, so I'm behind the line, palm trees are to the left, so what do? I reach up and I try to figure out a safe spot, and then I go past the palm trees. Now I'm over early, and then I'll drop back down and I'll say the line is right about there, and if I'm at the roller coasters, I'm safe. Okay, so then I come over here and I try to hold my boat on the roller coasters. I have to keep moving at all times to stay at the roller. Oh, no, still at the gym. You can see I'm struggling. Race 1 on Sunday, not smart to start at the pin. Our current here is strong. Strongest of the month, going right to left. See me moving? That's wind and current. Look how fast I'm going. I mean, I'm going quick. Getting ready for race 1, we had a briefing, and here's my chicken scratch for you. Today it's going to be warmer, a little warmer, and so there'll be more holes. I'm sure we're going to see times where the wind drops back quite a bit, and sometimes that's going to be frustrating because it might just be a random hole that you couldn't avoid. But sometimes, most of the time, you could have avoided those big holes if you have your head out of the boat. We talked about holding position was a plus yesterday. Pretty much everybody was really good at holding position into the line. Today the current's a little stronger, as I just realized. And so what that means is you've got to reach to accelerate. You got a close reach to accelerate. If you point close hauled off the line right away and buck the current, there's a lot of reasons why you're not going to end up having the right height off the line. So you got to accelerate against the current to get moving. You got to get the apparent wind in your sail as high as you can get it, then go close haul. So footing out. Yesterday, a lot of you guys did a good job of not pinching off the line, which would have caused you to get rolled. There was times where you were about to get rolled and you guys just pressed down a little, accelerated, and kept your lane. It was really advanced, actually. It's a skill that a lot of kids really struggle with. They'll point high all the time, they'll get rolled, they tack, and they're already going slower than everybody. Today, the current is going to be stronger, and it is again going to affect the upwind legs, make them very long. Any pinchers are going to be bad upwind. You cannot pinch in adverse current. And then when we tack, one of our goals, a lot of us are rolling too early. Let the boat get onto the other tack, and then let the sail and your body heel the boat up. And then flatten it. We're rolling too early, giving us a big lift going into the tacks. You don't want to lift an attack, you want a header and a tack. Then you tack onto the lift. But you're giving a wind shift lift if you roll too early. And then go 1 degree lower. You got to add 1 degree to your turn here. You guys are coming out of your tacks. They're good tacks, but you're coming out of your tacks luffing a tiny. And we got to come out just below close haul, 1 degree, 2 degrees. We got to not come out too high. Too high after attack is drag. Okay, so hopefully you can read that. Really beautiful day. I'm not going to commit to filming only the starts, but I'm going to try to focus mostly on starts. The one regatta I decide to focus on starts, we start really good, but we've had troubles judging the line. Now I'm going to film from the other side today. I'm going to film from the boat end side. Taylor should sticking out a little too much, but he should be okay. Oh, Anton. So what Taylor should do here is accelerate, go over early, and just roll around to his other side, because the boat is not favored. Yesterday the boat was favored the whole time. Taylor was too late. go in the first race on Sunday. I'm hoping this is zoomed in. There's Max. Taylor's got by Max. This is pretty much full hiking conditions. Anybody who's not hiking is pinching. Not full, yeah, it's full hiking. I mean, look at Paige. She's just got her mane too tight again. Somebody's got to get her to twist. They got to teach her twist. She needs to sail a DF95 and learn about twist. But good sailor. That start by Paige Tilson was just epic. I mean, that was just full speed ramp up at the unfavored end, but she was so fast. There's Maddie, Kevin right next to her. Kevin should be squeezing the green boat hard and then going back down a little, staying away from Maddie. You see how he's staying higher? Jacob's staying higher. 8662. Yeah, now she should go close haul because he's ahead of her. Okay, not bad. Clear lane. Everybody had a good day yesterday. Maddie's almost winning. Jacobs could be winning. Kevin had his best races at the end. That's a good B fleet right there. This is the guy winning the regatta right here. And he has Vang on. I can tell his Vang is quite tight. You see how that wrinkle never goes away? Trying not to run over kids here. He's racing. There we go. Most of that's main sheet on that wrinkle, but he's got his Vang pulled. He's a laser sailor. He's a big, he's a pretty big boy for Sabot, so I'm really glad he's out here. So when you're bigger like this, he has to, as he gets puffs, he has to lean his shoulders back a little. And as it gets light, he has to relax and kind of sit up straight. Here's a big puff. Because once you get power in a Sabot, the bow goes down. But he looks fine, dude. See how he's just sailing by feel? It's really nice. His leech looks really good. Maddie, footing. Maddie has different modes at this regatta. Every regatta is a little different, but she's got a lot of confidence, and she experiments with going really high, and then she starts to work on pressing, and she does them at a good time. She's starting to figure out when to press and roll somebody, or when to pinch and be able to, when she can pinch and pinch somebody off. So pretty cool. In the A fleet, can't tell what's happening, but I would be airing towards the right, but I can't tell what's happening. Not yet. It's the first race of the day. Just about caught the, oh god. Now the laser sailor's probably going to be the guy that just, I mean, this guy's been sailing lasers a ton, so he's probably going to be pretty good. We've got what I told Jacob is I don't think either side is going to pay very much. I think it's going to be a speed thing with, you know, as long as we avoid holes, everybody's going to get to the market about the same time. And I don't think either side's going to be dominant. You just have to race your side and at least win your side, no matter what, if you can. Here is the first start for C1s on Sunday. Chris Rose, 8,900. Fenton, so those guys are 1-2 in the regatta. Great starts. With Fenton, I'm trying to get him to look at his sail 4 or 5 times a beat. Make sure he's not pinching, because he sails totally by feel. Look at him. Chris has got a little bit more improvement on how to steer to his telltales, and Chris is hiking good, yeah. Our goal for Chris in these conditions is to hike hard. I mean, these are full hike conditions for C1s. Fenton's just trimming too tight. See how his boat's unstable? He needs to ease them. Oh, there he goes. He's hiking, though. He likes power. He's always, since Fenton started Sabot's age 6, and he's always liked too much power, which is, I love that. So you'll see his leadboard mount kicks water into his boat on port tack. That's when he needs to scoot back a little. Fenton should not be calling starboard this early in a regatta. Unfortunately, Chris has to do a penalty turn there. So, we talk a lot about what happens in sailboat racing, and those situations occur because they're in the top 5. And if those weren't, he would have never, that would have never happened. But that's kids learning. You know, I'll be able to talk to them about that. We don't want to win regattas by attacking and using the protest route. That was an unnecessary, but I'm talking about 7 or 8-year-old, so you don't know it if you ain't done it. I mean, it's not like he's being unsportsmanlike, he just doesn't know it. These kids process a lot of input. So, Chris just needs to do a penalty turn. What did I tell you? Everybody's going to get to the mark. The good news is that the wind is strong enough that the current is not as big a factor. Maddie's going to come around in second. Oh, I can't tell. So let's watch the leaders in the A fleet of race 1 on Sunday. It's a very steady hike. You see how he sits? He keeps his butt out, and he just moves his body to keep the tiller neutral. He doesn't want to pull the tiller to windward of center line more than an inch or something here and there. If you want to head up, you let the tiller into the middle. Now these guys do need to learn to lean forward and back. It's a forward and back boat. In other words, as soon as the bow starts to kind of plow, you just put your weight on your right butt. And then as it gets calm, lighter, you relax and just let yourself sit even or even on your forward a little tiny bit. As you go into waves, you have to be ready to just barely foot off before the biggest of waves if they're there. There's not really any waves. Okay, so here's Max. Keep watching the A fleeters. You always want to watch these videos and just watch their body position and then think back to yourself, what did I look like out there? Was I hiking as much as Max? Max is just over 100 pounds. Shane is just over 100 pounds. You got to compare yourself. Taylor's 125, 128, 125 maybe. And you'll see Taylor right here is probably not hiking as hard as Max. That looks good, Max. Max is now past Paige. Max might be second. That looks so good, dude. The flag is showing lift right now, I think. B fleet, Maddie in second in this race. Oh, here's Kevin in third. Look at that. Kevin used his Cunningham, his Vang. It's better. He's in a little bad air on there. Okay. Yeah, little too much weather helm. You see him fighting it back. What he should do is when right before he gets that weather helm, he should burp the main an inch. He made a mistake here in that he can't go through the start-finish line, so he's losing a mile right now, having to foot much lower than Taylor. He's having to go close reach to get around. Now the current's against him, so he could have pinched up into that current a little and held up. He lost about, remember, every foot downwind you are of the windward mark, it's 3 feet to cover that same distance. The boat does it. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but every foot you go downwind in a Sabot, it's 3 feet to get back to the same spot. Maybe more. If you're a pincher or a luffy, it might be more. That's why when you round over the mark, you got to round right next to that thing as close as you can. The boat punishes you. Okay, we'll see if Taylor, this doesn't look like a great angle, but I think Taylor's back in the race.
Is that the Barca setup?
A fleet coming to the finish of race 7. Race 1 on Sunday. We're going to watch the A fleeters. Whenever you watch my videos, make sure you're watching the A fleeters because you want to pretend. You want to go out and pretend doing these things in practice by yourself or with your friends. Sometimes by yourself. Looks like Max should have went under, but anyway, these guys are laying. He had no chance, but maybe he's being conservative here. Taylor should press, get clear air, and then let it go up. Okay, here comes first. Look how they're hiking. Very steady. They are feathering a little with a hike. You'll see the front of the sails. Okay, here comes Max. Max did an incredible job. I don't know what, I missed it. Oh my God, what did he do? He should press down towards Taylor hard. Yeah, he is. Taylor, he's gonna get Taylor. But Taylor did a good job. 3rd and 4th, you guys, I like it. Taylor's just gonna cremate Paige. He was right with it. Ooh. That's why Max needed to foot down hard because Taylor almost got him. Good job.